How much should I tip in nice restaurants and services? If you're heading to New York City and want to make sure you're tipping correctly, you're in the right place. Tipping is a big part of the local culture and helps support the people serving you. Knowing the right amounts can make your trip smoother and more respectful. When you dine at a sit-down restaurant, plan to tip about 20% of the total bill before taxes. Many places now suggest 20% or more on the receipt. If the service is truly outstanding, feel free to tip more. If it's not great, tipping around 15% is acceptable, but going lower might seem a bit harsh. Always check your bill first because some restaurants include a service charge, especially for large groups. For drinks at bars, tip between $1 and $2 per drink, or around 15 to 20% of your total tab if you're running a tab. For fancy cocktails or complicated drinks, tipping toward the higher end is appreciated. When paying as you go, rounding up to the nearest dollar is common. If you stay at a hotel, tip $2 to $5 per bag for porters and $3 to $5 daily for housekeeping. It's best to leave the tip each day rather than all at once at the end. For the concierge, tipping $5 to $20 depends on how much help you need. When your car is parked with valet service, tip $3 to $5 when it's returned. Tipping in taxis and rideshare services should be around 15 to 20% of the fare, with a minimum of about $3 for short rides. Food delivery drivers usually get 15 to 20%, but at least $3 to $5, regardless of the order size. For tour guides, tipping $5 to $20 per person per day is typical, or 15 to 20% if it's a private guide. For personal services like haircuts or spa treatments, tipping 15 to 20% is standard, and for more involved services, 20 to 25% is common. When you're eating alone, the same rules apply. Don't tip less just because your bill is smaller. If you split a check, tip only on your part. Some restaurants include a suggested tip on the receipt, so double-check that it's based on your share. A good rule of thumb is to double the sales tax, which is just under 9%, and round up to about 18%. If a service charge is already included, you don't need to tip extra unless you feel the service was exceptional. For takeout, tipping is less expected but appreciated, especially if staff went out of their way to help you. At counter-service cafes, leaving $1 or some change in the tip jar is common but optional. New Yorkers see tipping as a normal part of paying for service. While some may feel it's becoming more common to tip in more places, sticking to these guidelines helps keep things simple. Remember, always check your bill, tip based on the quality of service, and know that tipping is part of the experience in the city.